Okay, so in general, a nation or a country will facing 4 stages of business cycle, namely recovery stage, peak stage, followed by recession stage and trough stage. Okay, so 4 stages of business cycle that involve about 10 to 12 years. So far okay, for the first macroeconomics problem. Okay, the second macroeconomic problem that we have gone through is the unemployment. What is the meaning of unemployment? Unemployment actually is by the nation who are willing to get job but unable to find job. Okay, so these are referred to the labor force who are willing to get job. Willing means actively to find job, but unable to get a job offer in the job market. Okay, and the formula to calculate the unemployment rate is using the number of unemployed divided by labor force, then multiply 100%. The unit for unemployment is in percentage. Okay, it's in percentage. Okay, so now the problem is how to calculate the labor force. Then who should be included in the labor force of a nation or a country? Okay, so the labor force are referred to those people who are aged between 15 to 64 years old, okay, who are actively searching for job. Okay, these are the keywords. Actively searching for job. That means they are willing to find job. Okay, they are willing to find job. And these are referred to labor force, but must be between 15 and 64 years old. Okay, then who are the person that should not be counted in the labor force? Students like you. Okay, if individual are doing the study now, and then that means it's not considered as labor force. Like you are not considered as labor force. All right. And housewife as well, the full-time housewife who need to look after the children and family, and at the moment not seeking for job, are also considered excluded from the labor force as well. It's not included in the labor force. The third category will be the pensioner, those who already retired. Okay, who already retired, also not included as labor force. And lastly is those people who are having mental illness, okay, or probably handicapped, who are not able to work. They are not able to work. So these are not also considered as labor force. Okay, they are not labor force as well. Okay, so in the last lesson, we already learned 4 types of unemployment. There are 4 types of unemployment, namely are the frictional, structural, cyclical, and seasonal. So for frictional unemployment, I refer to those people who are temporarily unemployed, temporarily unemployed only, but they are looking for a job after a certain period of time. Okay, they just want to take some time to find more suitable job. Okay, so these people actually want to find more suitable job in terms of better position or higher salary. Or it can be because they are tired with job at the moment, so they will just want to take a break, career break for a while, rest for a while, maybe for 1 year, go for traveling. Then after 1 year, they will apply for job again. So this type of people also is under the frictional unemployment category. Okay. Another type of frictional unemployment will be the students just completed their study, the fresh graduate just completed their study and they are starting to look for job. So the period they are looking for job is considered as frictional unemployed. Okay, so let's say a student just completed the study in November, this month finish. Okay, then looking for job, but he or she only managed to get job in January coming year. So that means December is considered as frictional unemployed for this student. Okay. December is considered as frictional unemployed for this student because the student only managed to get job in January coming year. Okay. So this is how we calculate the frictional unemployment. So second type of unemployment will be structural unemployment. This is due to the change of the job demand on the skills required for the workers. So if the workers do not have the skill that meet the current demand, and then they may not be able to get job. So this type of people will be considered as structural unemployed. Structural unemployed. So it can be due to that person may not have sufficient knowledge in terms of technology to deal with the job. Okay. Another type of structural unemployment will be the workers are not willing to migrate or move to another place to continue the work when the factory plant is moving or switching to another place. So if this situation happens, this is also considered as structural unemployment as well. Okay. So the third type of unemployment will be cyclical. Cyclical unemployment happens when the economic condition is very bad, and especially during the recession time, whereby the job of the production reducing, this will lead to the job opportunity also reducing. So if the people lose the job because of recession time, during the recession time, because the activity of production is not very active during the recession time, so this type of unemployment is considered as cyclical unemployment. Okay, the fourth type is seasonal unemployment. So this unemployment happen when certain job, okay, may not be available in a certain period of time throughout a year. This is due to the climate or the season change. Okay, so like fishermen and ski instructors are usually under this category of unemployment. Okay, so for certain month, fishermen and ski instructors may not have job, okay, due to climate change. So this type of unemployment is considered as seasonal unemployment. All right, and we also already learned, okay, what is the reason we like to know about the unemployment, because actually this can have impact to the economic and also the social of a country. Okay, this may create the economic issue and also the social issue for a country if the government is not able to monitor or control the unemployment rate in a country. Okay, unemployment is too high, let's say more than 6%, then most of the people lost the job, and this will reduce the purchasing power or spending power of the nation. Okay, some of them may not able to pay for their mortgage and also their car loan. And when the purchasing power of the consumer is low, then this can also affect the private firm activities as well. Private firms have to reduce their production activities due to the aggregate demand is reducing. Okay, and this can also have an effect on the government as well. Government will have lesser income for tax, okay, for collecting the tax from the consumer and also firm. On the other hand, government also have to spend more money to support the poor or the unemployed people in terms of using the transport payment or financial aid. Okay, so this is going to disturb the long run growth potential for a country or a nation. Okay, so besides economic effect, this can also affect the social issue as well, such as criminal, drug abuse. All this may happen if people have no money to buy food to eat due to jobless. Then all the criminal cases may happen. This will increase usually. When the unemployment rate in the country increasing, usually the criminal rate will also increasing. There is a positive relationship between unemployment and criminal rate. That's why the government really have to really carefully monitor the unemployment in a country. Okay. Okay, then the third macroeconomics problem that we have gone through will be the inflation. So inflation happens when the average prices from all of the products generally increasing, okay, continuously increasing for the average level of all prices. So what is the issue then? What is the main problem if inflation is if the price of the product? So that means this will create the issue whereby there'll be too much money chasing for few goods. Okay? Too much money chasing for few goods. Why? Because the value of the money will be reducing at during the inflation time, yeah? And people have lesser goods to buy as well during inflation. Okay. So what are the problems? What are the factors that will increase the price level of the goods in general and cause the inflation rate increasing in the country? What are the problems? What are the factors that will cause? Actually, there are two main factors. Okay, there are two main factors that will increase the inflation rate. So the two factors can be from the aggregate demand side or from the aggregate supply side. Okay, so if the inflation is caused by increasing of aggregate demand, we call this type of inflation as demand pull inflation. If the inflation is due to the reduction of aggregate supply, that increase the aggregate, that increase the price level of the goods or services in the country, and then this inflation is called as cost push inflation. Okay, cost push inflation. Okay, so for demand pull inflation can happen when the C or I or G or NX increase. Okay, if either one of these are increasing, this will increase the aggregate demand. Okay, so C is referred to the individual consumption increasing. I is referred to the investment of the private firms. G is referred to the expenditure of government, and X is referred to the next export, which is export minus the import. Okay, so if these four factors increasing, this will increase the AD. So what happened to the AD then? So if the AD increasing, that means the AD will shift to the right hand side, just like the diagram shown. Okay, so you may find that when the AD shift to AD1, the equilibrium point would be here. Okay, so at this equilibrium point, that means the price level of the products generally increasing to P1, and the GDP or the national income also increasing to Y1. So if any of the factor increasing and shift the AD curve to the right hand side, this will create the demand pull inflation. Okay. So on the other hand, how about the cost push inflation? How does this happen? This is happen when the cost of production increasing. Okay, when cost of production increasing. When production cost increasing, that means it's more expensive to produce the products now. So as a result, this will reduce the aggregate supply in the economy. So once the aggregate supply reducing, that means the aggregate supply will shift to the left-hand side. So if you refer to the diagram, when the aggregate supply shift to the left, that means the market equilibrium, the economic equilibrium point now is at this point now. So at this point, you may find that the price level for general products and services, you may find that the price level increasing to P1, right? And the national income reduced to Y1. So the increase of the price level is due to the production cost increasing and shift the AS1 to the left-hand side. Okay, there are generally three factors that will increase the production cost. Okay, generally there are three factors that will increase the production cost. It can be because of the salary of the labor increasing. If the salary of the labor increasing, that means the production cost will increase. Okay, so once production cost increase, that means the aggregate supply will reduce, because it's more expensive now to produce the product. So AS will shift to the left and increase the price of the goods and services in general. Okay, so another problem, it can be because of some of the producers, they purposely keep the resources. They don't want to sell the resources. Okay, they just want to keep the resources. Why? So that they can sell those resources when the price of the resources increasing. If this scenario happen, this can also increase the production cost of the goods and services in general. Okay, and shift the AS curve to the left-hand side as well. Okay, lastly, it can be because of the import goods. Okay, the import goods that the country purchase from the other countries may increase the price. If the price of the import goods increase, that means this can also increase the production cost in a local firm. Okay, in a local firm, production cost will increase as well. So once this happens, this will shift the AS curve to the left. Okay, and then lastly is for inflation. Inflation means the value of money is reducing. Okay, the value of money is reducing due to the price increasing. So who are going to get benefit then during the inflation time? The businessmen. Okay, because most of the product price increasing, so the businessmen are going to get more profit. Okay, and also the property owners, because they can sell the house and also the land with higher prices now. And also the debtors. Debtors are who are borrow money from the bank or from the lenders. They also benefit from the inflation. Why? Because actually they receive money, the loan from the bank in advance, and then they just need to pay repayment every period in the future. But in the future, actually the value of money is reducing during the inflation time. So the debtors also can get advantage during the inflation as well. Okay, in fact, they pay less, okay, in terms of value of money in future. Then who are going to suffer that opposite? Then who are going to making a loss during the inflation time? Those who are having the fixed salary workers. Why? Because the income is fixed, but the price of the products and services are increasing. So that means the purchasing value, the purchasing power of the workers actually is reducing. Purchasing power means the willingness to buy goods or services actually reducing. Okay, these people buy lesser products now because the salary value actually is reducing. And besides that, okay, the holders of the government bonds and fixed deposit in banks, people are also going to suffer. Okay, because actually the value of money that they are holding now actually is lesser compared to before during the inflation time. Okay, and lastly is the creditors as well. Creditors are referred to the lenders. Lenders are people who lend money. Okay, lend money to the debtors. Okay, so in the future, actually, time the creditors also receive lesser real value of money during the inflation. Okay. So in short, these are the things that we already studied during the last lecture that you need to know. Okay, for the three major economics problems. Okay, about 30 minutes. So let us try to discuss the summative and also the formative questions. Okay, so as usual, I'll just call your name and you just need to read the question and provide the answer that you feel that is the most appropriate. Okay, so I'd like to start from the summative question first, as usual. All right, so the first question actually has to refer to the business cycle below. Okay, so I think we'll start from Johanna again. All right, so let me show the summative questions. Okay, Johanna? Yep. Question 1.
In the diagram of a business cycle, C, gross domestic product is on the vertical axis and time is on the horizontal axis.
Okay, so horizontal means this part, this one. Horizontal is refer to the time. Okay, it can be year. Usually it's year. Okay, so the horizontal means the x-axis is refer to the year or time, and the y-axis is refer to the vertical axis here. This one, right? So it's refer to the GDP or national income. So the best answer is China, C. All right, thank you. Any questions so far? All right. So actually this question is test of understanding whether you know the label or the legend for X and Y axis for the business cycle diagram. Okay, question number 2, Nelly.
In the preceding diagram, the expansion of the business cycle occurs at point D and the recession occurs at point B.
Oh, so we have to go back to the diagram again for this question. So your answer is
D.
okay, Denmark, right? Denmark. So point D is here, yeah. So that means is recovery stage, right? Point D is actually at point D is at the process of recovery, yeah. Or we call it expansion. Okay. So you have to remember the keywords. Expansion means recovery, right? The GDP actually is increasing at point D. And then point B, okay, you may find that the GDP is reducing, start to reduce now. So this is called as recession time. Another of our recession is we call as contract, contract period. Okay. Okay, good. So question number 3, Sophia.
Which of the following is not a phase of a typical business cycle? D. Inflation.
Okay. So inflation is not a business cycle, yeah? So what is inflation then? It's not a business cycle, correct, yeah? So business, yeah, inflation is, Sophia, what do you think?
Macroeconomics problem.
Yeah, it's macroeconomics problem, right? So what is the major issue of inflation then?
Continuous increase in the average level of all price.
Correct, yeah. That means the general price level of the products in an economy continuously increasing, okay? So if the price of the products increasing, actually, this will make the value of money reducing. Value of money is reducing because the price of the products are increasing continuously. So that means the value, this will cause the value of money reducing. Okay. Okay, number 4, Kai.
To know where the business cycle. Yes.
Okay.
So can you help me? To know where the economy is in the business cycle, one must be the rate of change in the level of economic activity.
Yes, yeah, because we need to know the rate of change in the level of economy in order to identify whether the economy is having recession or peak period or having the economic growth. So we can identify this based on the activity, based on the economic activity, how active the economic activity at the moment. From there, we can identify the business cycle stage, okay, whether it's having recession or growth or peak or trough period. So the best answer is B. Okay, best answer is B. Some students may ask, how about unemployment? Unemployment is caused by B, in fact. Okay, it depends on the B. It depends on the economic activity. Okay, so the best answer is still economic activity, because the economic activity is telling us everything about the unemployment problem, inflation problem. Okay, C is about the inflation issue. So actually, C is also depends on B, depends on the activity in the economy as well. Yeah. So the best answer is B, which is Brazil. Okay. A and C are the consequences. Okay, consequences of economic activity. Okay, all right, then question number 5, Zhuan.
In sequence, the 4 phases of a business cycle are A, trough, expansion, peak, and recession.
Correct, yeah. Okay. So you can refer to the diagram, to the business cycle diagram to answer question number 5. Okay, number 6. Xander, I think it's not here, right? Oh, no, okay, we should move to Ming Xuan, Natalie.
A recession is a period during which aggregate output declines. B.
So it's Brazil, this one, okay. 7, Zender, are you here, Zender? Zender Chiang. Today I think it's not here, I think, Zender. Are you here? Zender Chiang is not here. Okay, then Becky. Becky, are you here? Okay.
Yes. The phrase of a worker at which real output deadline is a D recession.
Yep, correct. So it's Denmark. Number 8, Carissa.
One negative aspect of business cycle boom is a declining rate of unemployment.
Boom, boom means here, boom means the economy is very good here. Boom is at point A. At point A, that means the GDP is at the maximum level, GDP value. Yeah. So actually, when the GDP is higher, that means the unemployment rate is low, is opposite. Yeah, unemployment and GDP always in a deposit. We call it as the reverse relationship. Okay. So at point A, actually the unemployment rate is at the lowest level. So B is not the answer. Okay, the declining rate of Okay, actually at point A is the unemployment rate is at the minimum level, minimum rate. Okay. For unemployment, declining rate is at point D. A actually is at the unemployment is at the minimum rate. And then you have to see this word negative. Negative. This is the keyword negative, which is not good. So if the unemployment rate is decreasing, it's good actually. It's good for the country. If the unemployment is reducing, actually it's good. Yeah. So B is not the best answer, because the keyword is here negative. Can you choose again? B is not the best answer. Because if the unemployment is reducing, that means it's good for the economy. So the best answer actually is A. A. Inflation rate will increase. In fact, okay, increase in inflation rate during the boom period. This period, at the boom actually, the GDP is at the highest. Okay, and this is the situation whereby people have money to buy goods and services. Okay, people have money to buy. So when in general, when people have money to buy, that means the aggregate demand will increase. Okay, when aggregate demand increase, this can also increase the inflation rate of the economy as well. So when the inflation is too high, also not good. Okay, if increasing to, let's say, above 6%, then it's also not really good for a nation. So the best answer is A. Okay, best answer is A. Okay, number 9, Nianpong.
An anticipated inflation erodes the purchasing power of money. A borrower is hurt least by an anticipated inflation.
Okay, so answer is borrower. So this question is asking, among all these four people, all right, which one will get the less impact? Okay, the least impact during the inflation time. So that means is having the benefit In other words, means who will get the most benefit during the inflation time? So answer is borrower. Okay, why? Because during the inflation time, value of money is reducing. If value of money reducing, that means the repayment value that need to be paid by the borrower will reducing in the future. So which is good for a borrower. Okay, so inflation is not good for those who receive fixed income. The lender and creditor are the same meaning. Yeah, lender and creditor are the same person, same meaning. Lender and creditor are also not really get the benefit during the inflation because they'll receive lesser value of money from the borrower for repayment during the inflation period. So the best answer is D, Denmark. Okay, number 10. Chrissy Chai.
The war in Iraq sent oil price spiraling upwards, resulting in an increase in overall price level. This is an example of which type of inflation? C. Demand pull.
Okay, we have to analyze the question again. So the war in Iraq, okay, so that means now, okay, Iraq is having the war, war, okay, this increase the oil price. Okay, do you know what is the reason increasing? Is because when Iraq was having the war, that means the supply, okay, this will disturb the production of oil, okay, the petroleum production will reduce during the war in Iraq. During the war in Iraq, the production for petroleum will reducing. All right. So when the production for petroleum reducing, that means the aggregate supply will reduce in Iraq. Aggregate supply of oil in Iraq will reduce. So if aggregate supply of oil reducing, so that means this will increase the price of oil in general. Okay, this will increase the price of oil. So the increase of price of oil is due to what? It's due to actually the production of oil reducing. Okay, so this is more to the supply side. Okay, this is due to the supply side. The increase of petroleum price is mostly due to the supply side. It's due to the aggregate supply, not the aggregate demand. Okay, so the best answer should be due to the cost. Actually, it's the cost. Yeah. So the best answer is this one, cost push. Answer is B, Brazil. Okay. We don't have the term cost pull. We don't have A option is we don't have this term in the economy. Yeah. We only have cost push or demand pull. So A and D are out. Okay. In economy, we don't have the term of option for A and D are out. We don't have these type of terms. Okay. Cost push means due to the aggregate supply reducing. Demand pull means the aggregate demand increasing. Okay, so for scenario number 10, the question 10 actually is more related to the supply side. So answer is B. Okay. All right, 11. Ren Chai. Ren Chai already dropped from the program. Okay, Edwin, question 11.
Which of the following causes cost push inflation? B, an increase in price of raw materials.
Correct. Yeah. B answer. Brazil. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cost push means due to the production cost increasing. Yeah. Cost push inflation is happening when the production cost increasing. Okay. Production cost increasing. So in this case here, the answer will be B, Brazil. Okay. A will cause the government expenditure increasing. This will cause the demand pull. Yeah, demand pull inflation. A is for demand pull inflation. C as expansion in bank credit. Expansion in bank credit, that means encourage people to borrow money, okay, from the bank. So when easy to get bank credit from the bank, that means this can encourage investment. Okay, this will increase the investment. For C is to increase the investment. The private firm can increase the investment. This may cause the demand pull inflation. So for C is more related to demand pull inflation. Okay. How about D? an increase in consumption, that means the C increasing. C increasing is also can cause the demand pull inflation as well. Yeah? So A, C, D are more on the demand pull inflation. Okay, number 12. Alvin?
Inflation resulting from an increase in aggregate demand is called demand pull inflation, B.
Yeah, demand pull, correct. Yeah, demand pull inflation, Brazil. Okay, so for A and C, we don't have this term. In economy, we don't have the term of options A and C are out. We only have either demand pull or cost push inflation. Okay, number 13. David, are you here today? Are you with us today, David? David, are you here? No, Okay, then Christina.
An increase in the overall price index is known as a inflation.
Correct, inflation. Recession, depression are referred to the business cycle stages. All right. We don't have the word disinflation. We don't have this type of word. Okay. Number 14. Jason.
Cyclical unemployment is C. Unemployment that occurs during recession and depression in the economy.
Yeah, correct. C. Okay. So far, any question for 14? I believe most of you should be able to answer correctly, Okay, for option B is what type of unemployment then? Option B is best describe what type of unemployment for B. Jason, what do you think? For option B is most likely describe what type of unemployment? Can you answer, Jason? Unemployment that is due to changes in the structure of the economy that result in significant job losses in certain industries. So
structurally and unemployment?
Yes, correct. Yeah. So B is more likely to describe the structural unemployment. Yeah. B is more to structural unemployment. Then how about D, Denmark? Start looking for job, Okay, because this one is already stopped looking for job, so it's not considered as unemployment anymore. These people already stopped looking for job. That means they are not actively looking for job anymore. So it's not considered as the workforce anymore. Yeah? I repeat. For D, the keywords are here. Stop looking. Stop looking means we should not include these people in the workforce of a nation anymore. Because these people already stopped looking for job. So it's not considered as workforce. Okay. So these are not affect the unemployment rate in the country. This is how we calculate the unemployment rate. So D is not categorized as any type of unemployment. Okay, number 15. Okay, we start from Johanna again. 15, Johanna.
During the Great Depression of the 1930s, many laborers found great difficulty finding a job. They were A. Frictionally unemployed.
A. Okay, you see, this one. What is the keyword here? It's due to this one, depression. Depression means very high. This is time is a trough time. Okay, and this is the keyword, depression. Depression means when the economic condition is very bad, extremely bad. Okay, so if the economic condition is extremely bad, so this will create unemployment, right? So what type of employment that should be best described during the depression time? If the unemployment is due to depression, economic condition is not good, then this should be under what type of unemployment category? It's not fictional, because fictional is only temporary. Fictional unemployment is people are looking for job, but they just need to wait for maybe interview session, right? For getting the job. It's only temporary. So fictional unemployment is up from here. Okay, as from this description here is due to the economic condition is not good. So it's not because of the process. Okay, it's because of the whole economy is not good. So A is out. So Johanna, can you choose again? B, C, D, your answer? Who can help?
C.
Yeah, correct, huh? Cyclical, huh? China, all right? Cyclical. So when you see the question, right, is saying that, okay, the unemployment is due to the economic recession, economic depression, and then must be cyclical unemployment, okay? Due to the economic condition is not good. It's not because of the skill, okay? It's not because of the timing, but it's because of the whole economic condition is not good, huh? And then this type of unemployment is cyclical. Okay, answer, the best answer is C. Thank you, Nelly. All right. So maybe, okay. So the next question will move to Sophia, if that's the case. Since Nelly already helped to answer question number 15, so I'll move to Sophia, number 16.
Sir, I did not help.
Pardon?
That was not me. That was Pao.
Oh, okay, Pao. Okay, thank you, Pao. Then, okay, then Nelly, then, okay, can you answer question 16, Nelly?
Okay. As hypermarkets open up more self-service counters, many cashiers are no longer needed and laid off. These unemployed cashiers are categorized under A, structural
Yeah. Okay. So
structural
for
unemployment.
correct, yes. Answer is A. Structural unemployment. So the keyword here is for this question is because of no longer needed. Okay, this cashier are no longer needed. Why? Because the supermarket now is using the self-service. Okay, it's using machine to do self-service checkout. Okay, so that means the technology is replacing human to do the job. So this type of unemployment is considered as structural unemployment. Answer is Australia. Okay, 17, Sophia.
Which of the following would be classified as unemployment? C. A fresh graduate looking for a job.
Okay, so answer is C, China. Okay, looking for a job, that means actively looking for a job. Okay, so it's considered as unemployed. Okay, let us check A. A person who quit his job and attends college. That means it's become a student again. Okay, go back to student. So if a student should not be counted. Okay, if the person is already turned as a student role, then should not be counted in the workforce. It's not in the workforce category anymore, so it's not considered as unemployed. B, a person who has been hunting for a job for a long time, and has now given up. That means not actively, don't want to look for a job anymore. So if this type of people should not be considered as labor force anymore. It's not counted as labor force. So this is not going to affect the unemployment rate for the nation. Okay. So the best answer is C. Okay, number 18. Kai.
The labor force B includes all those who are working.
Okay, the problem is this question is quite tricky because each of these options given it seems to be incomplete. It's not complete sentence. Okay, if you refer to the PowerPoint slide again, okay, let me show you the PowerPoint slide again. This question is quite tricky. Actually, we need to go back to the definition of unemployed. Unemployment, what is the meaning? Okay, I go back and share the PowerPoint slide again. Okay, so unemployment is referred to the labor force, right, who are willing to work. That means they are willing to work and also actively looking for job, but unable to find jobs. Okay. Unemployment. And this labor force here, how to categorize this labor force then? Who are the labor force then? Okay, the labor force must be between 15 to 64 years old. Okay, and actively looking for job. Seeking for job means actively searching for job, and must be categorized of 15 to 64 years old. Cannot more than 64, cannot less than 15 years old. Okay, must be within this age range and actively searching for job. So it seems to be there are two criteria here. Yeah, there are two things that need to be included in order to define labor force. Okay, so let's go back again to the question. So actually, not refer B actually, yeah, the all those who are working actually I refer to those who are employed. Okay, these are employed people, already employed. Employed people, but not include the unemployed people. Actually, the labor force is include the employed people and also the unemployed, but they are looking for job and between 16 to 15 to 64 years old. Okay, so B is not the best answer, yeah, because B is only include the employed people only. How about the unemployed, but they are within 15 to 64 years old and actively looking for job? They are also considered as labor force. So B is not the best answer, right? A also is not the best answer, yeah, because A is also include the baby. See, total population means those who are below than 15 years old and also above 64. Okay, so A also is not correct. Yeah. C, include all persons above 16 years old. Not correct, yeah, because we have to exclude those people who are below 15 years old and also above 64 years old, and also have to exclude those people who are not actively looking for job. Also have to be excluded from here. So it seems to be there is no best answer to describe the definition of labor force from these three options. So the answer will be D. Is none of the above. Okay, so answer is D. Denmark. So this question actually is test your understanding on the definition of labor force. Yeah. Okay. So number 19. Jizuan.
Sir, you are not sharing the screen.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay. I go back again to number. Okay, number 19.
An unemployed person is said to be a structurally unemployed if A, he lacks of job skills.
Yeah. Okay. Structural. So the Q is structural, right? So structural is due to the job skill not able to meet the market demand. Okay. So the best answer is A, Australia. Then how about B then? B is describe what type of unemployment. Maybe we can move to, okay, this one already done. Natalie, for option B is best describe what type of unemployment. Natalie.
Cyclically unemployed.
Correct, cyclical unemployed, yeah? It's due to recession, right? So it's cyclical unemployed. Okay, then how about C? Natalie already last. Okay, Becky, for C is best describe what type of unemployment.
Frictionally unemployed.
Yes, frictional, frictional unemployed. Okay, then D, we have Carissa. Carissa?
Seasonal unemployment.
Yes, correct. So seasonal unemployed, for D. Okay. Then question number 20. Nguyen Ong. 20.
A fresh law graduate searching for a place to begin his practice is an example of frictional employment.
Yeah, fictional unemployment. A answer. Okay, Australia. All right. So, okay, we have discussed all the 20 summative questions, right? So, any question that I would like to ask before we move to formative questions? So far, so good, huh? Okay, then I'll share the formative question now. Okay, so for question 1 actually is based on each scenario you are asked to identify what type of unemployment rate that best describe each case, okay, for each case. So it can be cyclical unemployed, structural fictional unemployed, or not in the labor force. Okay, or maybe some of the scenario that described here, those people are not included in the labor force. All right, so we'll start from 1A. Okay, import already done. Chrissy?
Maya just graduated from a top medical school and is currently deciding which hospital emergency room job she will accept. Frictionally unemployed.
Yeah, answer is fictional. So I use purple color. Later on, I'm going to share the answer with you on the canvas for both summative and formative questions. Okay, then B. Edwin?
Hector lost his job as an assembly line worker at Chrysler due to the recession. Not in the labor force.
No, the keyword is this one, recession. Recession is the keyword. This is the keyword. So if recession, if people are employed during recession, then what type of unemployment is that? Recession. Due to the whole economic condition is not good. GDP is reducing. Then this will create what type of unemployment?
Cyclically unemployed.
Yeah, cyclically unemployed. So answer will be cyclical. So keyword is recession. Yeah. Okay. 1C. Erwin?
Alejandro, an advertising executive in Seattle, quit his job 1 month ago to look for a more prestigious advertising job in New York City. He is still looking for a job, fictionally.
Yeah, answer is fictionally. He's still looking for a job. That means he's still actively searching for a job. So answer is fictionally. Okay. Then D. David is not here, right? Then we move to Christina.
Yvonne got laid off from her job as a financial analyst 3 months ago and has not looked for a new job since then, not in labor force.
Yeah, correct. So the keywords will be this, has not looked for a job. So that means it's not actively looking job. If Fiona is not actively looking job, then it's not included in the labor force. Okay, because it's not actively, it's not meeting the definition of labor force. Okay, so as long as Fiona is not actively looking for job, then it's not counted in the labor force, and this will not affect the unemployment. So answer is not in the labor force. Okay, then Jason. Jason.
Taylor lost his job as a welder due to the introduction of robotic welding machine. Structural unemployment.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, structural unemployment. So which one is the keywords? Which is the keyword for this sentence? Structural, correct? Yeah.
Due to the introduction of robotic welding machine.
Yes, machine, robotic. Right? So that means the robot will replace human to do the job. So human lost the job. If that's the case, this is categorized as structural unemployed. Okay, F, we go back to Johanna again.
Ruby quit her job as on search to become a full-time student at a culinary school, not in the labor force.
Yes, correct. Because Ruby actually would like to be a student again. Yeah, so should not be counted as labor force anymore at the moment. Okay, so answer is not in the labor force. Okay, so this question actually is to test your understanding of 4 types of unemployment and also how to define the labor force. Okay, so far okay, so far so good. Okay, question 2 is a short structural question. Is to request you to discuss the disadvantages of having high unemployment in a country. If the unemployment rate is very high in a country, then what are the negative consequences that will be faced by a country? Maybe I just call your name, then just give me one of the disadvantages that can be brought by high unemployment. Okay, I'll start. Okay, we'll move to Nelly again. Nelly, what do you think? What are the negative impacts or consequences if the employment rate, if the high employment is happen in the country? So what is going to happen?
Unsustainable growth of economy.
Yeah. Okay. So this disturb the long-term economic growth due to the resources not being fully utilized. Okay. So it can be disturbed. Long-term economic growth. I'll give you the answer, the full answer later on. Okay. And then what else? What are the negative impacts then, Sophia?
Government has to spend on welfare payments for supporting the unemployed.
Okay, so this is government is to increase spending, okay, on financial aids, okay, or the people who are unemployed. So that means this is going to increase the government spending, which is also not good for the country. Okay, any more? Okay, we'll move to Kai.
Reduce government revenues because those unemployed people are paying tax to the government.
Yes, government will have lesser tax revenue that can be collected from the labor force. All right, then any other disadvantages or limitations? Kai already done. Ji Zuan.
Unemployed have decline in spending power.
Okay, so this it means reducing unemployed. Okay, unemployed. I just put labor force. Lesser purchasing power, right? So you can say this may, okay, to bad debt in housing loan, I think okay, we have one more impact. The impact is to the private sector, the private firm. Okay, we have Giza already done. Natalie, Ming Xuan, what is the impact to the private firm then if the unemployment rate is high?
Due to low demand, private firms may have less profit for future business investment.
Correct. So this can also affect the private firm. Private firm may have less profit due to low A grade. So these are the negative consequences to the economy if the unemployment rate of a country is very high. Okay, so that means all of the people will get affected, not only the individual consumer, but the private firm also will get affected, government also will get affected, and the whole economic growth will also get affected. Okay, so this is why we call this as the macroeconomic issue. Yeah, so unemployment actually is the macroeconomic issue because this can affect the whole sectors, the 4 sectors of the economy. Yeah, will get affected. Okay, now I'll move to question number 3. Question number 3 actually is to test our understanding on inflation. Okay, as we know that the inflation, high inflation, can have impact to both economic and also the social activities. Okay, so can have impact on both economic and social activities. Okay, so now we move on to Natalie already done. Becky, so in your opinion, what are the consequences or the impact of high inflation to the country? If the inflation is very high, okay, so what is going to happen to a country then?
Businessmen can earn higher profit from rising prices.
Yeah, anything else? So what is the main issue of inflation? What is inflation? Okay, Becky, yes, correct, yeah. Anything else? So what is going to happen during the inflation time?
continue increasing in the average level of all prices.
Correct. Yeah. So that means the price, okay, the average so during inflation. The average price level of products is continuously okay. If continuously increasing, then what is going to happen? I think just now you mentioned about the debtors or the seller, right? Who is that? Becky. Okay, just now what is the impact then? Okay, if the price level is very high, so what is the impact to the economy then? To the society?
The businessman higher profit from rising prices.
Yes, correct. Okay, so that means okay, so the first impact will be the can earn more profits due to increasing of the product price. Okay, so it's good for the businessman. Okay. Okay, besides that, okay, Becky, thank you. Okay, so Carissa, any other impact if the inflation is high?
The real value of the money falls.
Correct, good, very good. So that means during inflation, the real value of money false. Correct, yeah. The real money of is reducing is because the price of the products is increasing. So when the real value of money is reducing, so what is the impact then? What is the consequence? Carissa, if the real value of money is reducing, so who are going to suffer? Who are going to get benefit? What are the impact? You can give one example.
Debtors are going to get advantages.
Who? The
Debtors, yeah, and creditors get disadvantages.
Correct. Yeah, good. Then how about in terms of the workers who receive the fixed income?
They're getting disadvantages.
Yeah. Yeah, why? Because actually the real income, right? The real income of the people who receive the fixed salary, they are reducing, right? The people. So that means, right? So the workers. So you can say as a result. Or you can say the fixed income workers. Okay. Or you can say the or you can say experience. Okay. Lower real wage rate. Okay. Okay, any other impact that you can provide? Okay, thank you, Carissa. Then Nian Ong. Any other consequences during the inflation? You can describe who are going to get benefit, who are going to suffer. Yeah. Nian what do you think?
The businessman who earns higher profits from rising price.
Yeah, already mentioned by Becky, I think already right here. Can earn more profit, right? Due to increasing the product price. So already mentioned. So inflation has impact to the businessman, to the fixed income workers as well. So who else are going to have impact during the inflation?
Debtors, because the real value of money falls and it reduces value of repayment.
Correct. Yeah. So okay, so, but on the other hand, so that means okay, good point. So that means on the other hand, the debtors is okay. I use the word are. Okay, the debtors. And on the other hand, inflations is beneficial for debtors because they are returning less sum of money in real terms to creditors. All right, so I think should be enough because I think this one is only 3, as long as you can get 3 points for this question. All right, so question number 4, last question. So question number 4 actually is to test your understanding whether you know the difference between the demand pull inflation and also the cost push inflation. Okay, so for this question is you're asked to also explain or discuss what are the main causes on each type of inflation. Okay, probably we can start. Okay, we can start to describe about the demand pull inflation. You have to describe what are the main causes. Okay. Carissa, Nian already done. Chrissy?
The demand pull inflation is caused by the aggregate demand increase.
Demand pull inflation, okay, is caused by what?
The aggregate demand increase.
Okay, it's caused by okay, can I say higher level aggregate demand. Aggregate demand means the total demand of products and services in an economy. Yeah? Aggregate demand. Okay. And this aggregate demand increment cannot be met due to or you can say that aggregate that continuously average price level of so full stop. Okay, good, thank you. Then how about the cost push inflation? We see already done. Ren is not here. Edwin?
Cost push inflation is occur when a rise in production costs.
Inflation, okay, happens, right? When
a rise in production costs.
Okay, when cost of production continuously, yeah, increasing, that lead to increase average price level of products. Okay, so thank you. So that means, in short, demand pull inflation is caused by the continuous increasing of the aggregate demand that increase the average price level, right? Whereby, on the other hand, the cost push inflation occurs or happens when the cost of production continuously increasing, that increasing the average product price in an economy. Okay. So yeah, by using these two sentences, you'll be able to answer question number 4. Okay. So any other questions so far on the formative questions? All right. So today we already discussed the questions related to 3 major macroeconomics. Okay. So tomorrow we have a class whereby we are going to cover the next lecture topic, which is on the aggregate demand, aggregate supply, and also the physical policy that can be implemented by government in order to solve the macroeconomics issues. Yeah. So these 3 economic issues that we discussed today can be, some of the issues can be solved by government, okay, by using some policies. So tomorrow we're going to discuss in more detail how can the government solve the macroeconomics problems. Okay. All right. So any other question before we call a day? It's already 12:30. I'm going to pause the answer on the Canvas later on for the tutorial 9 questions. Any other question before we call a day? AC is who? Who is AC? Edwin, any other question that you'd like to ask? So far okay? So far so good? Everybody?
Yeah, so far so good.
So far so good. This chapter okay? Yeah. All right. How about your assignment so far? Assignment, have you started doing your assignment? Because our assignment report had to be submitted in the coming week, week 11, which is 20th of November, Friday, till that 12 noon. Okay. If you got any problem on your assignment, please contact me. We can have a Microsoft Teams meeting with your group members. Any questions so far on the assignment? So far okay, so far so good. Okay. If quiet, that means okay, that means you are fine. All right. So thank you for joining the class today. All right, and take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Now we are going to next chapter, new chapter. No question, I think okay. Let me check the meeting chat. I think there is a message from the student. Bye, teacher. Okay. What else? From Carissa. Carissa is typing something. Carissa, do you want to ask any question? We have a meeting tomorrow, right, with your group members. Tomorrow, 10:30, through Microsoft Teams. Or Carissa.
I think it's Friday.
Oh, yeah,
right?
it's Friday. Correct. Yeah, Friday.
Yeah, I have no questions, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Carissa. Yeah, just inform your group members. We have to use the group 4 tutorial meeting link for our meeting on Friday. 10:30.
Yeah, all right.
Okay. And who else? Any other question? Okay, if not, then we'll just call it there and bye-bye. Stay safe, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I'm going to
Thank you,
pause
sir. Bye.
Okay, I'm going to pause the video clip for today's lesson on the Canvas soon. Okay, probably this afternoon.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.